welcome to another episode of the JNC Podcast Live. I made it a whole other week. These weeks just seem like they're flying by. I don't know about you guys, but this time of year, I feel like the days are shorter. When summertime kind of like comes to a close, it's like, I don't know, the sun comes up earlier and it goes down earlier, and I don't know what my days are anymore. But what I do know is I'm Brad Brock, and I'm your host tonight, and we're hanging with singer-songwriter and entertainer Mike LuBeck. Very handsome man. And we'll be chatting about his new album. We'll share some musical stories, and we're going to get to know one of our brand new local Treasure Coast entertainers. He's been performing here for ages, but now he's living on the coast. I love that. Also joining me here in the legendary JNC Lounge tonight is the ever lovely Miss Jordan Taylor. Hello. And Mike's better half, Sue. Welcome to the show, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you so much for all of you tuning in live with us tonight on YouTube, Facebook, or listening in on JNC Radio via the Live 365 radio app. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and follow us wherever you happen to be tuning in. But before we dive into tonight's show, we kick it off traditionally with our shot of the week. So let's do that. Don't take it yet.
We're dying here.
I know. Our shot of the week is the Washington apple. It's a classic. We all love it. We all know it. It's 1 part Crown Royal, 1 part sour apple pucker, 1 part cranberry juice, and I like to put a little Sprite in there just to give it a little fizz. And so here we all are. There we are. Cheers, you guys. Cheers. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for tuning in with us out there. Salute. It's a classic. It's a classic.
Delish.
Wait a minute. I don't think I have the right microphone for you. Talking to that again?
Hi.
There you are. Now I found it. I'll never forget it again.
Found it.
Well, you guys, join us for our shot of the week each week by visiting jncpodcast.com to see what we're planning, and then you can get everything that you need delivered to your door from our friends at Drizzly. There you go. Thank you, Jordan. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to start our show here with a performance. So recently relocated to Vero Beach. He's a powerhouse singer-songwriter running the gamut of musical genres and creating great original tunes and delivering awesome cover tunes at his shows. So let's hear it for Mike LuBeck.
I hadn't slept for days. These nights are cold and gray, and I'm not missing you. I've been with you so long, and still I carry on, and I'm not missing you. 'Cause I'm not crazy, baby, I'm not stoned. I'm sure not lazy, and I'm not old. The way you made me creep fell upon my name. I'm still depraved. I'm still depraved. No matter how hard I try, I'm still depraved. Well, this thing called love, it's an addictive drug, and I'm not missing you. With all the things I see, it affects the air I breathe, and I'm not missing you. 'Cause I'm not crazy, baby, I'm not stoned, sure not lazy, and I'm not old. Well, you made me grieve, fell upon my knees, and when I wake I'm still depraved. I'm still depraved. No matter how hard I try, I'm still depraved. always find a way, and I'm not missing you. You took this broken man, and now I understand, and I'm not missing you. 'Cause I'm not crazy, baby, I'm not stoned. You're not lazy, and I'm not old. You made me crazy, but upon my day. When I wake, I'm still depraved. I'm still depraved. No matter how hard I try, I'm still depraved. I'm still depraved. No matter how hard I try, I'm still depraved.
Awesome. Great tune off of the Cold EP. That is out now. That is Mike LuBeck. We're gonna let him get sorted out there and come over to his chair, and we're gonna have a chat. Welcome to the show, my friend. We're finally able to get you here in the studio and to chat, and it was a long time coming, but now that we have you here permanently, it works. It works. We were able to pull it off. So, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, well, man, appreciate it. Saw you. I can't remember when it was. At least a couple years ago.
Yeah,
we had such a good time. Here, hold on. You got these things here.
I know.
All right.
We're low budget, man. We're pretty low budget.
No, it's beautiful, man.
Legit.
And what's gonna happen? Okay, but no, yeah, I met you a couple years ago. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I've been coming out here for years.
Yeah, it was a Sneaky Tiki, right? I remember meeting you out there in downtown Stewart. That's right.
I did something over there, and we got tore up over there, man.
Yeah, no,
you're pretty awesome, dude.
Thanks, man. You too. It's easy to get tore up from the floor up at the Sneaky Tiki, like genuinely, 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well, cool, man. Let's dive right into it. There's a pretty substantial amount to cover. So I guess let's start with a little background about, just kind of how you got into the whole music thing, and you know the story, you know the drill. What's the origin story of Mike LuBeck?
Can I do the PG version real quick?
Okay. Oh, are we gonna then dive into the PG-13?
No, can't do that.
Fair enough. You can give us the cliff notes, if you will.
Real quick. When I was a kid, it was like in 66, 67, my dad, I went and saw my dad's band, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was only exposed to like what the Beatles, the Stones, Monkees were coming out, and I'm like, that's my dad was in a band, and I went and saw his band. I was like, dude, cha-ching, cha-ching. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know back then that was we were black sheep,
Sure, yeah.
But he had a regular job.
I don't even know what that is.
Ding.
That's right.
Thank you. So, he says, "You want to be good or you want to be great?" And he handed me Emerson, Lake and Palmer Tarkus, and he said, "Listen to this, and then come back, listen to it, and come back." And I went back. And I was like, "Geez, people can't be that good."
Right.
It's just wrong. And a lot of the stuff. So I kept looking for that kind of material as I was getting older.
That's awesome.
That's how it all started, man. Yeah.
And
Yes, and it was groups like Yes and the early prog bands.
Sure.
Came through that era,
And I love that you mentioned Yes, because the 80s were like kind of, and even the later 70s was like a weird time for that kind of music, because you were either on some way left field tangent,
because of the commercialism they were doing at that time.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
yeah.
that like bridge between the 70s and 80s was it's a weird time for music, but it was also very cool because, you were coming out of guitars and you were going into synths, and, bands like Yes.
Exactly where you're going.
Bands like Yes, because you had Roundabout,
Right,
from the 70s, and then they kind of moved into that really synthy kind of 80s world.
Right.
It was
when
really
they got,
wonderful.
When they got Trevor Rabin, that's kind of what happened,
Right.
you know, and in the early days. As a matter of fact, it's the 50th anniversary of Close to the Edge right now.
No
and
kidding.
that's just a great album. But I actually got to sit down and jam with Chris Squire and Alan White and Tony Kaye.
Oh my God!
At WGN Studios in
Amazing.
Chicago, and it was I love those guys. You know, I was such a big fan that when the call came, they said, "Who knows what we can do?" And I got a call. So,
Oh, brilliant!
I know,
Like,
right?
These days, you know, in the days of so like I never answer my cell phone. And if you call me, don't if you ever call me and you need something, don't do that. If you send me a text or anything like that, I'll respond to you. But I never answer phone calls. I never answer them. I just don't do it. I would have missed that call. I would have missed that opportunity. That's what happened to me.
I was the guitar manager at Sam Ash, which was just in Chicago, right over from Midway Airport. And
this is 2 weeks in a row we're talking about Sam Ash, by the way.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I know what that is now. I didn't know what that was last week.
So they came off the plane, but how was it with them? And the thing is that none of their instruments made it into Chicago. So they called Sam Ash, which was Deck, and they go, "Well, I'm going to get you in touch with the guy who's the manager of the guitar department." So I'm laying in bed, and I get a phone call from the manager, the manager from the store, the GM. And he goes, "Hey, answer your phone." And so he hangs up, and a couple of minutes later, he goes, the guy's like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Sandy." So I was like, "Good dude. Yeah, get out here."
At least you got tipped off.
Yeah.
Answer your phone. It's
Well,
important.
they called them and they said, "Who knows? Yes, some yes tunes." They actually let me pick a couple of the tunes to play because they were the only two that I was comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I knew I could get away with.
Right.
So.
Love that. Well, that's killer, man. We'll talk a little bit about some of the people you've had an opportunity to jam with and open with. We'll get into that. But you're obviously a guitar player, but you're also a multi-instrumentalist. Like you play all kinds of stuff. So what aside from guitar, what instruments do you get down on? Like what are your other specialties?
I started off as a drummer, and I think I'm a better drummer than I am anything that I would ever think that I could do.
Sure.
Mainly because I grew up and I learned the technical aspect of everything that you had to come. When I went in the military, I was in the Naval Drum and Bugle Corps. It's because I knew my paradiddles, my flams, all that stuff, and I was able to. But the difference was I was a metalhead or a rocker, and so I heard everything that was going on, and I love being an instrumentalist because, it's not that I sit there and I check to see what everybody's doing. I'm just saying that I want to be able to present what it is. So me and my buddies would get together, 3 drummers that I knew, and we would sit in a circle and we would just pick apart progressive drum albums. You know,
so fun,
Rush,
what
was it? Progressive Steel, Narpitz and Didkets, you know, any Kansas that came out, anything like that that we considered progressive.
Mm-hmm.
We would sit in a circle and we'd all pick it out. If I couldn't figure it out, I had a couple other buddies. So, so when I got in the Navy, they were like, "Hey, we understand you're a drummer." And I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Yeah." So I did some Navy stuff. Okay.
Well, just a couple Navy things.
They turned me into an entertainer is what they did, but I did some Navy stuff. And, but it was so much fun. We were doing Rose Bowl, San Diego Charger, Clipper basketball game, Charger basketball, football games, Clipper basketball games, Rose Bowl parades. It was a lot of fun. I was slacking. I just had to look good all the time.
See?
Yeah,
that's okay though.
I had to shave every day and everything.
Yeah, that would be outside of the realm of comfort for me. I love the half beard life,
But that was basically it. When I got out of the military, I knew what I was going to do, and I have worked endlessly to do everything that I could in any realm that I could, whether it was guitar, bass, vocals, drummer. But to just keep doing what I'm doing. There's good money in it. There
Sure.
really is. There's good money in it.
Yeah, I mean, this went back way before the Navy even. I read a little bit of a little tidbit about a interaction that you had when you were 15 years old on the drums with a just this kind of unknown, hasn't really done anything big, but his name happens to be Harry Chapin. He might only have a song or two that are the biggest songs ever recorded in the face of history. Cats in the Cradle comes to mind. Taxi, one of my favorite tunes of all time.
Cats in the Cradle was like that commercial tunes, but Taxi is like
so good.
That's our tune.
Yeah, ultimate story song. That's so good. Tell us about that. That was an interesting story, and I definitely wanted to hear the story behind that little tidbit.
My grandparents. I grew up in a country family in Bristol, Virginia. Even though I'm from Chicago, where I went, I grew up in the mountains of like Norton, Coburn, Wise, Johnson City, Bristol, Kingsport, Unicoi County, and Sullivan County. I grew up in all these hill states. My grandmother was awesome.
It sounds like it.
She had this Appalachian style way that she would play and sing. It would break your heart, dude.
No kidding.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? We know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
And so a lot of like that song I just did, Depraved, that comes from that kind of that deep-seated thing of the general South.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, we're getting emotional.
No,
look at us.
My grandmother. If you look on the guitar over there, it says Biddy. The headstock plate over there says Biddy.
Oh wow.
Sorry. Yeah, and it's her birth. It's her death year, and her birth year, and her death year.
Listen, man, it's wonderful that you have somebody that clearly had a hand in raising you. That is so special and instrumental to becoming the person that you were destined to become. A lot of people don't have that opportunity. Yeah. So to have a person that you can reflect on many years later and say that was the person that made me.
She was pretty awesome, man.
That's amazing.
She could make the best soup, beans, and cornbread on the planet.
Ooh, yum.
You say, look at me.
and now I'm hungry. All right. So how on earth did you happen to find yourself in the studio with Harry Chapin? How did that even happen?
We went back to that, but anyway,
that's okay. I know
my grandmother.
I can work a segue.
My grandmother was a department manager at what they call Parks Belk back in those days, and there was big malls and stuff everywhere. Anyway, he was coming into Classic Recording Studios in Bristol, Virginia. Now, it's on Moore Street, which is in the downtown area of Bristol, Virginia, Tennessee. Now, if anybody knows anything about the history of true country, it started in that town, and the first recording by the Carter sisters was done at Classic Recording Studio, a block from the main street. Now, the thing about Bristol, Virginia, Tennessee is that the state cut it right down the middle. So, like every 15 feet, there's a big iron block that says Virginia, Tennessee. So, I mean, even back in our day, Virginia was a dry county, but all you had to do was walk across the street and you were good.
You were good, yeah.
All right. But anyway, she worked at Parks Belk. She was selling some suits to a guy. She goes, "Look, I'm this guy from Classic Recording Studios, and Harry Chapin." Well, what it was is Tony Venable wants you to call him. Tony Venable was a friend of mine from high school. And so I called Tony and goes, "Hey, can you be at Classic Recording Studio?" And then when I showed up, I was like, "What?"
Okay. So you had no idea.
I had no idea
that it was going to be Harry Chapin.
They just wanted to know somebody, and what they did was that they checked around. They said, "Who's got good tempo?" And it got to a buddy of mine from high school, and I'm telling you, a lot of guys from that whole area that came out that were really accomplished musicians. One of the guys I played with for decades. Him and his brother did the Shrek soundtrack.
No kidding.
Okay, so I played with Mikey. We were roommates in college. So I mean, it was just a great area at that time for everything that was happening in music. It was explosive. Johnson City was Knoxville, Nashville's over here, Murfreesboro. It's a good central. Franklin, come on, So
Yeah,
it was
no
a good
kidding.
area. So yeah,
That's awesome. So what in the studio you were just helping him write through writing sessions, or you were recording stuff?
No, he was running tracks, and all I did is provide a beat that was in time.
That's it. Hey, clearly important though. I mean, they wouldn't have called you out there.
I didn't have to do anything. He would just start playing something. I'd pick a little something out and just keep that beat until he told me to shut up. But that's what it is. That's a writing process. A couple bands I've been in, we used to do that. We'd rent out a little trailer or something for a couple days, and
just didn't have a writing session.
We would do this. We didn't have all this technology or anything, but we drink a lot and write some tunes.
Oh, that's killer. Awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge Harry Chapin fan. Gone too soon. It makes me wonder what he could have done had he lived longer. But today is actually the anniversary of John Denver's plane crash. Another artist that you wonder what could have happened. But a story for another time. Well, you mentioned that you were in the Navy, Navy vet. So thank you for your service, of course.
Yeah.
And you did clearly serving in the Navy had influence on your music as a drummer. Did you take any influence in songwriting or anything like that?
The stuff that I learned when I went into the Navy was stuff that I had learned when I was in high school. Okay. So I was already into, all types of rudiments and cadences.
Sure.
They were cadences, You just had, if they said, the Wisconsin cadence, well, there you go. You may, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, but
I know. I still remember that one. It's a nightmare. Wake up every night going, oh
yeah.
But I knew that stuff when I went in, and then the second year I was a tour guide on the USS Constitution in Boston, Massachusetts, which is old Ironside,
right? Yeah,
Charleston. So I did that for a year. It was the entertainment of it. It was like that. Like third year, I was like, "Can I do something real?" So they put me on an old Korean diesel destroyer out of Mayport, Florida.
Oh boy,
yeah,
that sounds exciting.
Everything smelled like me. I couldn't go to a club or a bar or anything. Everything smelled like diesel. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, baby, what you doing? Whoa. You couldn't light a match around me,
burst into flames.
No.
Oh, man.
But I did a lot of work when I was in San Diego during the Naval Dorm Review Corps. I was stationed at Balboa Park Naval Hospital out there. And then when I was in an active duty, Johnson City was the Kingsport. They had Mount Home Medical Center, which are big veterans.
Right.
Yeah, so I did a lot of that kind of stuff.
Nice. That's awesome. Again, thank you so much for your service. I'm, I sure you don't just hear that from me, but it is important to note. Looking at the comments here, let's see.
Oh my God.
Yes,
we do have plenty. John McCauley is
Johnny
tuning in. He said, glad to be here. Occasionally gigs with Mike, and so we had to come and support. He did say he mentioned that your mic's low. You got to eat that thing, baby.
I love that guy.
Get up on that microphone.
I love that guy.
Yeah, see, there you go. Now he's with Susan Wood says, always good to hear your stories, Michael. I remember Sam Ash on Cicero Avenue. What else? Who else?
Hi, Sue. How you doing?
My name is Sue. How do you do? Right?
Yeah, and all of his story was just in Philip's neck of the woods. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Philip said.
So Philip knows up in the neck of the woods.
In Tennessee.
Up in Tennessee.
She's a sweetie, man. I was with the band, a Allman Brothers tribute band. We changed our name when we started doing a lot of original stuff. We changed our name to Hogtown Packing Company, and Hog became this kind of thing. where people would bring us pig stuff. All right. They'd bring us like air fresheners that were like, it was bacon flavored air fresheners.
Ah.
That's amazing.
Clever.
Sue brought me a bottle of bacon flavored
Yes.
vodka. I love you.
Amazing.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. My God.
She's like, make a Bloody Mary out of this. I'm like, I'm with you. Hear ya.
Yep. Got that.
Well, most people put like bacon in their Bloody Marys
Yeah.
or bacon and everything
It
Absolutely.
was pretty
else.
obscene.
Shrimp and whatever else in there.
Meatballs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I want to dive into your original music just for a little bit because you truly run the gamut of genres, man. Is that something that you've always done musically, or is that kind of a evolution going from, younger years into older years?
Really, honestly, just to cut in, I just do whatever I think I'm writing and it comes to mind. I don't care what that genre is. I've got the Frangetta. I sent you a cover of the Frangetta album.
Yeah.
And that album is very techno, almost like In Excess, Living in a Box.
Mm-hmm.
During that era, I was doing what they were telling me to do.
I know.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's very mechanical and stuff. So, I guess I try to just sell music all the time.
Hey, man. The truth of it is when like some people write songs because they mean something to them. Most people do. But, like at the same time, you have to kind of make it. Doesn't necessarily have to be selling out or whatever people call it. I never call it. I call it paying bills. You
Yeah.
obviously want to make music that moves you, but that moves other people too.
But I didn't. That's what I didn't mind was that I kept writing and writing and writing, and I produced stuff that was what I thought that style was supposed to represent or fit or whatever.
Sure.
Okay? So like on the last album, Cold, that album took about 3 years to get all the. I had digitracks, I had the stem files, I had all kinds of stuff that I accumulated over the years. Whether I'm recording in my garage or I'm recording in the kitchen or whatever the ambience was, and I threw all this hodgepodge together. And luckily, I had Mike Richards, who this is the second album he did for me, and he was able to take all these kind of styles and stuff and put them all together. When it came to of how easy this stuff was, it wasn't easy. I just had a bunch of junk laying around. And I did my
whatever
best.
works.
And I did my best. I did my best to put something out. These were songs that necessarily I didn't consider that needed to be any type of genre. They were just songs that I just finally felt that this is what I heard when I.
Yeah, it's similar to the way that I write. I don't necessarily go into a record with any kind of theme per se. And it's really I never like sit down and write songs for a record. I'll write songs throughout a period of time. It happens to be it seems like it's like a 4-year span. Every 4 years, I'm like, oh, I've got enough songs to put a record together. But it really is like a culmination of what I've experienced over that time.
And it's a hodgepodge of tones.
Right. Absolutely.
And rooms that you recorded. And I did, on the last album, Dragonfly, I did a gospel song. Now, my dad, he wanted me to do him a gospel song. And I said, I'm going to do you a gospel song. So I did a traditional gospel song. One of my buddies is a keyboard player from Ocala, Florida, and I sent him some. This is what I want you to do. And he came up with this beautiful piano part, and I just built it from there. When I got all the stems and everything, and I started putting this stuff together, I called all my friends in Polk County. I'm talking about Adrian Richards, all these people that have played here, Mackenzie Peischer. I was like, hey, can you meet me in Tampa on this night? So we went in this studio, and I found a studio big enough to house 15 singers with headphones and microphones and everything. And I walked up to him, and I said, here's the lyrics. This is what I want you to do. And at the end of the song, we went through it 3 or 4 times, and we recorded it. And that's on Dragonfly, the album before Cold. And so that's another album where it was a hodgepodge of all these stem tracks and all this stuff. Well, I wanted a real choir for my dad. So I called all my buddies. We drank a lot.
Like you do.
Okay,
right?
that's just what I'm saying. I wasn't passing out paraphernalia or anything. But I bought a couple cases of Coors and a handle of what's that hot shot stuff? Fireball.
Fireball.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's only 60 proof. So, but yeah, and so we ended up doing that, and what we ended up doing was taking these different tracks, separating the girls' tracks from the men's tracks, and then adding a plug-in called Choir, where you're able to utilize the different frequencies and double those and double those and double those,
and make it sound like this giant group.
So we
it's
had
amazing.
so we were able to take all those different frequencies and move the girls into here and the women and the guys into here. Yeah, we had too much fun. I had too much time. Luckily I had nobody that charged me money.
That is important when you're going through things like that, and it's just such a feat of modern technology to be able to do stuff like that.
Right.
Because back in the day, you couldn't pull that off. You had to have that many people in a room, to
we had a lot of
record
fun.
the parts.
It was a lot of fun. Man.
So cool, man. You mentioned a little bit earlier, obviously playing with the guys from Yes, but you got a laundry list of entertainers that you've performed with, open for. Some that come to mind is the Wallflowers, a hugely influential band on me growing up. Jacob Dylan, of course, the famous son of Bob Dylan.
Bob, yeah.
Incredible artist. The band Wallflowers, amazing. Pat Travers, he comes through town here all the time. He's an amazing artist as well. Blue Oyster Cult is another one that you had mentioned. Do any of these experiences stand out to you, or do you have any standout experiences that you had with all these?
It's gonna be Jacob Dylan and the Wallflowers.
Really?
Yeah, it really is.
No kidding.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh my god. You have a dirty story to tell us about?
No,
Jacob?
dude. Other than I told my daughter, don't go down that hallway.
Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
If those of you who don't know who Jacob Dylan is, Jacob Dylan is a good-looking man.
Well, it wasn't that. I was just like, I went to the security door and they go, hey, this guy says these are all with you. And I go, yeah, let them all in. And so I brought all these kids in, and there's 14, 15, 16. I'm like, hey, you know what? You don't go anywhere down that hall right there at all.
Don't go knocking on any doors with stars on them.
Yeah, but because the way that a lot of these shows are done, you have a sound check meeting, then you have like a dinner, And I gotta tell you, Jacob was what a great host. Food was, look at me. Anyway, so
you're in good company, pal.
I'll eat anything, But he was just such a gracious host. What was cool is everybody had this cool genre, this power behind them. Is what they wanted to do. They had, we would do these shows where we would do the autograph sessions. We were nobody. We really weren't. We were the local guys. But they let us hang out by their buses, so we got some great shots.
Somebody busts out a camera. You have to document that this happened.
No, but it's pretty cool. I actually sat beside Jacob Dylan and had smoked salmon.
Wait, what?
And four-layer German chocolate cake.
Oh my god!
And we So
that sounds...
he was a nice guy. And then 2 weeks later,
what a sensory overload.
2 weeks later, I'm sitting on my couch in the living room, and they were on Saturday Night Live. And I look over and I go, I just opened up.
I know them. No,
I really don't. It just they were the nicest. They really were. A lot of the metalheads were what I would expect. We opened up for so many bands like Nantucket. You remember Nantucket?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I've never been there. I don't know who they are.
Yeah. They were a pretty big band. We call them Nantucket.
Oh.
And, but yeah, what was funny about Pat Travers was we opened up for Pat Travers at a show at a place called Cowboys in Johnson City, Tennessee. And I was sitting, after we finished, and I was watching Pat Travers, and I was sitting in the bar, and Stank, what's his name from Angel? Oh God, the guitar player for Angel. What was his name? Frank Zappa makes fun of him all the time.
It'll come to you when you're like sleeping today.
Oh my God, he was sitting beside me. He was sitting beside me, and I was like, "Oh, dude." I was like, "What is that guy's name? It's killing me."
John,
he wasn't.
John McCauley said there once was a band from Nantucket.
Right.
Finish the rhyme.
The band was called Angel, and they used to dress in all white costumes, and they had white, feathers and stuff on. Yeah.
Lovely.
Hanging out. Punky Meadows. There's actually Frank Zappa songs where he's like busting Punky Meadows.
No.
So
kidding.
yeah. So he's sitting beside me and he goes, "What do you think of these guys?" I go, "Well, I ain't at your show." I'm sorry. Pat's a badass dude, man.
Pat is dope. Like I
if you're from Florida, Pat is a Florida icon.
Yeah, he
Period.
plays at one of our local venues here, Terra Firmata, right in downtown Stewart.
Right.
And he plays there pretty often. I see him come through at least once a year.
Yeah. He's damn good, man. Pat is just as good as it gets, man.
Amazing. What about the guys from Blue Oyster Cult? Are they all still original? Are they all still around?
I only met
now?
No, and because of what was going on, the only people that I met were the people that weren't in the original Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, so they're the ones holding the rest of the guys. But
the drummer at that time was Bobby Rondinelli. Okay, Bobby Rondinelli has played with Ozzy, Rainbow, Ego. He's a world famous double bass drummer. And he was doing the show, but they had some other guys came in the store and they were like, "Hey," and he went, "What are you guys doing?" And that's how it falls in. Hey, what are you guys doing? Yeah, you remember the English Beat?
I don't.
From Britain. I was playing at a place next door. They were opening up at a big place, and they walked in. They were like, "I know who they were," so I did Save It for Later.
Right.
Save it for later. Don't
That's great when you see somebody come in and you're like, "Oh no, I know what song I'm playing next."
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine. God, now I can't remember who it was. It was one of a couple of people, but they were performing, and Eric Clapton happened to be in the area and walked in on the show and did the same thing. It was just kind of busted into Layla or something, he said Clapton they had dinner or they sat for the whole show, tipped him $100. Obviously, that's what famous people do. If you think you're famous, you got to put $100 in the tip bucket. That's just the way it is. You think somebody should know your name, you should put $100 in the tip bucket.
And then if they walk away, you could go, "Wow."
Yeah, exactly. John, he said Blue Foster Cult.
I know, right?
Foster Cult. Crazy. There are so many bands out there that are just you have one member hanging on, and the rest is just incredible musicians, obviously. But what are you gonna do? So we were talking about Chicago.
Yeah.
And we were talking off air a little bit about Jordan. Her brother lives in Chicago, and she was just up there visiting with her sister and her brother. And you mentioned that you're kind of a military brat, so you moved around obviously quite a bit.
Yeah.
So Chicago was the most recent place that you were you were calling home. What was it like up there? What was the music scene like up there?
My dad was in the Navy, and my mom worked for the Bureau. So I went wherever they were deployed.
Naturally.
And if they couldn't house me, I went and stayed with my grandparents in the mountains of the Beans.
Make a sense.
I'm hearing banjos right now.
Right.
And so,
you're the only one.
No, I spent a lot of time in Chicago. So, but growing up during the 70s in Skokie, I lived in northern Chicago all those years. Evanston, Skokie, Lincolnwood.
The good parts, right?
Yeah, and it was safe back then. I could ride my bike to Wrigley Field and catch a game on a Sunday because back then they didn't have lights.
like street lights or anything
No,
like that?
park lights.
Oh, wow. No,
Yeah.
not even in the park.
No.
So they only had games in the daytime.
Yeah, all
Wow.
of the original Cub games were done during the day.
That's
So
incredible.
I could ride my bike there, spend my allowance on it, and I would always start with this nice Jewish deli on the way there and get this nice ham and cheese with mustard on rye, and it was just beautiful. So
Is that place still there? Because that's important.
Yeah. So anyway, my mom would be, "Why you spend your allowance on that?" And my dad he's like, "I understand." Okay, so go about your. I understand. So, but it was and then I went to Virginia, Bristol, Johnson City, Kingsport. Graduated from high school. Went to college at ETSU. And then I moved back to Chicago, but this time I moved to the South Side.
Oh.
That's where Bad Leroy Brown is from.
Let's see how many people, let's see how many ragers we can get on here. Okay, so when I was a kid, I was a Cubs fan, but when I grew up after college, I became a Sox fan. Whoa, hey.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, man, everybody has.
I have two teams. I have an American League and a National League team.
That works. Well, so if you had to pick a town that was better, would you say Vero Beach is better than Chicago, or is Vero Beach not quite on par with Chicago?
No, dude, this is what I intended.
Yeah.
I had a plan, man. I love fishing, and like I said before, I have been working in this area for quite a while, and so I would come here and I would fish. I know the best budget motels. I have a van that has a bed and a TV and a DVD player in it, and I would make the weekends work. I just wanted to come here and make money and fish.
This is the place to do it. The whole Treasure Coast, really, from Vero Beach down to Stewart or Hope Sound, even
Right.
getting down
And
there.
relax.
It's it's the Treasure Coast. It's so easy to. It's like a Retirementville, It's not so much like that anymore.
Somebody was like, "Oh, you moved to Zero Beach?" I was like,
Oh no!
I was like,
Wah,
that's
wah, wah.
exactly what I want, man. I don't want anything, I want to go to Walmart without being harassed by somebody in polyester.
Isn't that the truth? You'll still find that here, by the way.
No, that's okay. The odds are always,
Yeah, it's always there.
like a burnt steak. The chips are always stacked against you.
Right. It's true.
I haven't heard that one, Zero Beach.
Zero Beach. Yeah, we
I like
hear
that. That's
we,
good.
down
We get
here.
Port St. Lousy.
Port St. Lousy. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Port Fierce is what we get for Fort Pierce.
Yeah, but that's like a powerful one. That one's.
I get. Well, now it didn't used to be a compliment.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
Beyonce came
that's
around.
Really, to be honest with you, that's where
Sounds
I
better
kind
than Zero
of got my
Yeah.
start over in this area was Fort Pierce.
Yeah, that's where I started hearing about you. Playing places like Chuck's out there when they started having music.
Chuck's.
See a little seafood place over.
Well, I used to play the original Tiki Bar,
right before they tore it down.
and then I was at the Blue Water over on the inlet.
Yeah,
next to right.
That's what I was thinking of was Blue Water. Now I forget. It's like a taco shack
nothing.
now or something.
Okay, and then I was doing Cobb's Landing, and I knew that the money was pretty good over here and everything. So I called a bunch of my friends from Winter Haven, and they play here now.
Okay,
They're coming here.
That's awesome.
But it isn't so much because, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm what a jerk. These are our gigs, but I would only, the people that I know are worthy of this place. And the Treasure Coast has got the coolest everything scene
really
that I've ever seen, man.
Isn't it
just ever
crazy?
seen. Right. I mean, just so much fun here.
It was crazy. I grew up here, right? I went to.
You want to bring everybody here the best of everything you can. And that includes music, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
When I was growing up here, we had bands, you had a couple solo people, but there were no venues. Restaurants barely had music, there were venues for that. And soloists, forget about it. They were only hiring bands. And now, I moved away for years and came back to this wildly thriving music scene here with tons of venues. I was like, oh my God, because I came back, I didn't know that I could do that. So I went to work at a restaurant, waiting tables. And then I realized, I was like, oh my God. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I could go and play it and make a living.
When they closed down Orchid, the original Tiki Bar, was one of the last guys to play there. And there was a big party going on, an employee party. So Shane and all these people that we all know, it was pretty sad, man.
Yeah.
We had all really, busted our butt at that place.
Sure.
Good for worse or whatever. But that was, I established myself here because I started branching out. I mean, I want to give a big shout out to the Relax Inn on Route 1, just past Indigo exit there. $50 a night, $5. $5 key card, fee. You get that $5 back in the morning right there,
Got to put a deposit down on that key,
Hey, stay
baby.
in room number 5 because that's the only room that that's got my taint. So, but I really learned a lot. I was, the rest stops on both sides of this area, which way we're facing towards like 95, the rest stops and stuff. I was like playing these places, and I would judge out my, I'm done at this time. Can I go check into a motel or whatever? Do I get a good night's sleep, or do I sleep in my van?
Right.
All right. And I would go home with some buck. I'm saying I'm not spending money on what I don't need to, but I always want to have a good night. So like when I do like the West Coast and I'm playing like places like Tampa, St. Petersburg, all the way down to Sarasota, they got all the Skyway bridges and all that stuff, man. That's $8 a night. I can sit there and fish all night.
It's crazy, right?
Right, $8 a van.
And you got like the van of all vans,
Right.
the hotel on wheels.
She'll call me. She'll go, "What are you doing?" I go, "I ain't doing nothing."
Fishing out of the back of the van.
Sitting watching everybody. These crabbers, those crabbers over there, dude. Those people are brutal, dude. They're good. They feel like coolers full of them, and they're like walking all over around. Yeah.
The little blue crabs, the little tiny.
And apparently those are edible, right?
Yeah. Sometimes we get it crazy here. Sometimes they'll hatch and across US 1. I haven't seen it in a while, but there used to be there would be hundreds of them just crossing US 1.
Well, that's
like
what I'm saying.
Everybody's like stopping. There's a traffic jam for crabs.
That's one of the reasons I moved here, is that I did what I wanted to do. I did some cool shows. I'll never say that I got to the big league, but it was pretty cool to just, now I know I'm of what I can do in the area, so I try to stay a little different, but yeah.
No, it's always good to have your mark and have your thing that you do, that sets you apart from everybody else. I do the one-man band thing. There's a few of us around.
That's absolutely amazing, dude. How? I still got, remember the first time I met you, I came around, took a picture of you and all your foot pedals and everything. I went back to, I was like, look at this guy.
Dude, it starts so small, it's like one thing. And then I was like, oh, I could do that. And then you add another thing. And before you know it, it's just, now it's kind of a monstrosity that's taken a life of its own. But yeah, there's a few of us that do something similar to but that's not a lot of us. So, we get the gigs.
When you witness a lot of the things that people kind of do and get away with around here, I mean, what you're doing is you're in control of everything you do. Okay.
Yeah.
I've always had, I just got what do they call it? iPad?
Like a tablet or
a tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got one of those things because I've been using a damn book, man, for 30 years. And that thing is like this thick, right? All right. Yeah. And so I go, hey, one of y'all want to hear we're next? And,
let me look through the table of contents here and find what we're looking for.
A buddy of mine just said, what was it last weekend? He goes, you deserve an Emmy for the best holdout ever. And I was like, darn kids and their Pac-Man video machines. And, I was like, but no, so I've got this pad now. So I'm accessible to something else. Well, I've always been a firm believer, don't do a lot of leads, because I can put a bunch of other songs in. If somebody's going to do a lead every song,
Right.
okay, so you take that and you add it. I can do a lot more songs, and what I do is I kind of rearrange the bridge or the thing to just kind of fit it, and get more songs into it.
Sure.
Kind of keep hitting them with stupid stuff. And I bought a looper pedal this week.
Oh, you did
I'm
it.
sorry.
You did it.
I did.
It's okay. Our guest last week, Ricky Bolufe, an amazing loop artist. Like, he's got the foot pedals, but he also has the hand ones, and they all work together simultaneously. It really was mind blowing to watch him perform on this thing. Like, he's a master of his craft. I have a loop pedal. Used it once at a gig. It was the worst gig I've ever played in my life, and I sold it the next day. I bought it. It was the big fucking thing. It was like $600. I brought it out to one gig, and I was like, how hard can it be? I was like, instead of bringing drums out and everything, I was like,
no,
worst.
Oh my God, stop
Worst
it.
gig of my life.
So I bought this pedal. And it's like this long, and it goes, this has 5 loopers. And I was looking.
You got the same one.
Whoa, no.
Oh, dude.
Whoa. It took me forever to learn how to plug it in. Yeah.
The manual is like this thick on that damn thing. I was like, I can't. I'm gonna go back to what I know,
Right.
and to let the loopers do their looping thing. But no, it's good, because some people use it just to get a rhythm going, and then you can put a lead over top, and you can kind of like stretch a song out a little bit more, than the 2.5 minutes that I get to do, because I don't play a lot of leads. We just run through songs.
Right. And there's only a few songs that I would do where I would feel that a lead was worthy.
Sure.
Okay. All right. If the lead is melodic enough to be a part of what the original song was written for, you got to do it. It's just all there is to it.
Because it's so funny, man. The universe is so good to me, because it really is and this will make more sense in a little while, but it's a segue into something sometimes the guitar solo is kind of the heart of certain songs, like it surpasses the lyrics, it surpasses the performance of the singer.
Well, yeah,
and it hits you, and you're like, it's iconic.
A good example is "Comfortably Numb," okay, from Pink Floyd.
Sure.
Okay, so you're coming out of that bridge, and then all of a sudden you want to expect, I have become comfortably numb.
David Gilmour is a mad scientist.
You don't want a guy going.
That would be me, because I don't listen to anything I play first. I just go, I've heard that song 100 times, and then I play some abomination.
I fired Ingrid Malmsteen 5 or 6 times. I was like, dude, slow down, all right?
It's unreal.
Yeah.
But that's a great example. It really is, man.
One note, to me, one of the greatest guides about those one note tunes, and I've seen more than I've ever seen anybody live, is Peter Gabriel.
Oh, yeah.
And not only is Peter Gabriel one of the icons of the original prog thing that came out.
Sure.
And of course you can see kind of what happened with Genesis after all that kind of stuff fell apart, but he kind of stuck to this nuance of like, I have access to the Beck technology. I know everybody in the lighting and recording, industry. I'm going to put out stuff that every year everybody's going to go, who has access to that equipment?
Right.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen him so many times, and every time I sit there, I am delving, dude. I'm sitting there going, wow.
It's incredible. Peter Gabriel is a showman.
Yeah.
The only person that could replace Peter Gabriel in Genesis was Phil Collins. He was the only one that could do it.
He had to do it.
He
was the guy.
Because he's also, equally entertaining.
If you really listen to those the older albums and the stuff, the transition, if you listen to those transition albums, they were very, very close in ambience, okay, and tonal qualities, okay. But what happened is they lost that prog element,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, they all of a sudden they wanted to sell records and become a commercial success.
So I was telling her. So I'm sitting. We're sitting outside the other day in the pool, next to the pool, not in the pool. So we're sitting in the pool, and I'm playing this new pedal that's on YouTube, and I go. She comes in. I go, babe, you got to hear this thing. I'm gonna spend gazillions of billions of dollars on this thing right here. So you remember the opening of the original Genesis Live album with Peter Gabriel? It was called Genesis Live, okay? And it had that big string orchette where they were utilizing a Chamberlain type mode with a Mellotron mode, and they had all this stuff, right? So, well, apparently this company's come out with. I'm not saying it to anybody. This is mine. Anyway,
You're giving all your secrets away, Mike.
This pedal does the coolest analog stuff from those vintage days of where they were using Oberheims. And I'm talking about string sets, the Mellotrons, the Chamberlain, the ARPs, all these, and they're all built. Don't be digging in your. What are you doing over there, dude? Wow. Hey. No, it's the S9. It's the S9. It's the S9 by Electro-Harmonix. So I'm sitting here watching this thing. I go, baby, listen to this stuff, and it's all that cool Peter Gabriel stuff. All these beautiful, rich tones.
Wouldn't surprise me if he had like a hand in putting that stuff together.
Yeah. But it's just all these rich, big tones, and they're doing like Watcher of the Skies, and this guy's doing it on an acoustic by himself. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I may have to get that.
Let me pull this credit card out of my billfold, and we're gonna spend a little money today. That's what we're doing.
Hey, can I help you?
Yeah. Do you take personal checks? That's all right one. But yeah, man, the gear has come so far, and I really have a lot of admiration for guys that can genuinely do the loop pedals. But I don't have it.
I don't mind that. I just do what I want to do. But I'm just saying that I really like the simplicity of Peter Gabriel can hit a note that there's nothing there, silence, and it means just as much as if you were filling that moment with music.
Yeah, sound of any kind, really. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
guy's a genius.
Yeah.
That's a concert I would like to go see. If he's still, I don't even know if he's still touring. But
I've seen him 6 times, and I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him with everybody. His daughter, Paula Cole. I don't want to wait.
Yeah, she played at Terra Firmata recently too.
Oh yeah.
She comes around.
Great shows, man.
Listen, man, I want to know about your EP. Tell us about Cold. Tell us about some of the tracks on there, man. It's okay. We're not nobody judges. This isn't American Idol. This isn't AA either.
I thought you were completely awful.
Oh, that was pretty good.
What's funny is you could switch that out. That could either be Simon Cowell or that could be the guy from Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, it
doesn't matter. It could be either of these people.
Yeah.
You suck at singing and you suck at cooking.
I ate out of a dumpster in South Chicago that was
better than this. Oh, man. But yeah, tell us about Cold. This just came out at the end of last year, right? I remember when it dropped.
Yeah, December. So I did about 98% of the material on it. So drums, vocals, bass, guitar.
Nice.
And then I like to pull my buddies in, and that's the whole kind of thing. Not so much that they would be, in some cases they would be perfect for the song. In some cases, like, hey, come on in and do this, and let's and like I mentioned, it's like the guitar player on Depraved 2 is in Europe right now on tour, and so they're just my buddies, So I was able to, I'm savvy enough, in my own recording systems to where I'm utilizing old digital tracks, ADAT,
Wow.
Does anybody know what ADAT is? Anyway,
You're really digging in the file when you got
That's right,
ADAT
that's right.
tapes.
and so I threw all this kind of stuff. And Mike Richards from he's does this thing. He's a, what do they call him? A D&B,
Like a
what they go, D&B artist.
like drum and bass. Yeah.
He tours all over the world too. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
anyway, Mike is he's brilliant, and he loves to surprise me when I come in the studio and we're doing this stuff. I walk in one morning and he opens up the studio booth and he's got Emerson Lake and Palmer Tarkus on the screens. And it's yeah, so
So cool.
yeah, so it's just so good to work with people like that.
And like he clearly knows your vibe. 'Cause who else would have that up in the studio?
Yeah. So
I
that's
can't imagine.
that's what Cold was. It was and that's just not all there is. There was stuff that I had available as far as access to certain digital files,
Sure.
ADAT files, STEM files, and we could put together. Well, I've got enough that I could do another one, but geez, give me a break. I've heard myself. I'm not impressed, and but I had a lot of fun doing it. I always have a lot of fun. That's what I always consider myself. I love writing, and I hear it what I want it to be, and that's what I try to produce. Everything I do is free. I don't care.
Well, listen, man, the title track "Cold" is awesome. I was telling you earlier before the show started that it gives me like that, like heavy, funky blues
I like
vibe,
it.
man.
I like it like a James Bond kind of.
It's so great. We're gonna feature it here. So tell us a little bit about that track. Is there any significant stories behind it, or any art instrument features on it, or anything like that?
Probably about 75% of it was recorded in my dining room.
Like we do.
And then some of it was recorded in a garage, and then I had my buddy who was you're gonna play Cold.
I'm gonna play it. Yeah. I'm gonna play it for our official like potty break.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what.
Thank you.
That's what we call it.
Don't get me wrong, my boy David Breimer did this thing.
Yeah.
David Breimer, he's from Lakeland, Polk County, Winter Haven area.
Yeah.
This is a very technical, efficient dude, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Do you like Alan Holdsworth?" I was like, "Dude, have at it." Okay, you know who Alan Holdsworth is, right?
I don't know.
Okay. He played with groups like UK. He was like a virtuoso of what they consider backwards guitar playing. So
Interesting.
when you hear his scales and everything, it was like you're not starting you're coming down this way. Everything was coming this way from the bottom up.
Strange.
And yeah. So he goes, "Can I do everything?" I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna go have a cigarette. I'll be right back." Yeah.
You do you, boo boo, and I'll be right
I
back.
was just lay down as many tracks as you can, and I'll be back. And I mean, if you listen to it, this guy is just like stupid crazy, man. He plays with he's got a couple of bands. He plays with Black Satin, The Broke. These are the bands that you'll be able to catch out throughout Florida.
Nice.
But like I said, you build these kind of friendships with people, and you go, "Hey, man, come on in. I want you to do the dumbest thing you've ever heard."
Right.
On my album. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it.
Oh, so good. So good. All right, you guys. So we're going to take a little refill break. But coming up next, we're actually going to put Mike on the hot seat. We call it the hot seat. In the Lipton Tea interview, we're going to play a round to name that tune, and we'll try to squeeze another performance out of Mike if we can't do that. Here is the title track from Mike's album, Cold. Don't go away. We'll be right back, you guys. Cheers. LuBeck with Cold, the title track off of his new EP. You can find it on YouTube.
Boop, boop.
I discovered. Yeah, so just check it out. LuBeck, LuBeck. It's time to put Mike LuBeck on the hot seat. And this rapid fire interview inspired by the late, great James Lipton, host of Inside the Actor Studio, you guys. This is Inside the Lipton Tea. Here we go.
What am I?
It will all become clear to you in mere moments. My name is Brad Brock, playing the part of Mr. James Lipton. And I'm here with Mike LuBeck. The famous Mike LuBeck.
Wow, dude.
Mike, welcome to Inside
Blown
the Lipton
away.
Tea.
Thank you.
Are you ready to begin?
All right.
Mike, what is your favorite word?
Slime.
What is your least favorite word?
Hypocrisy.
I like that. Mike LuBeck, what turns you on?
Cherries.
Cherries. And what turns you off?
No cherries.
Why are there cherries gone? Mike, what sound or noise do you love?
The sound of a out-of-tune guitar player for Guns N' Roses.
That was wildly specific.
Did I just say that? I'm sorry.
We're gonna get sued. You may say our budget might get slashed in half.
I had to think about that, dude. Okay, I had a lot of choices. Nirvana, Pearl Jam. Yeah, I had to be specific.
John McCauley said a good fart.
I know Johnny McCauley, and I know exactly what he's talking about.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Irresponsibility.
Oh. All right. And everybody's favorite question. What is your favorite curse word?
Stanky Poozle.
Is it really?
No,
Well, I'm looking
just
at you,
kidding
Sue.
I shouldn't have said that because everybody's going to be searching all my, I shouldn't say it, right? All my ID passes and everything. I'm like, hey, he said stanky. What the hell is a Stanky Poozle?
Make sure you capitalize.
Can I have the
on
question
that
again, please?
What is your favorite curse word?
Damn.
Damn.
Just, yeah.
Good. It's a good one.
Just damn. Because anything else other than that is like super vulgar. But, if you have a good damn in your heart, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because, you could give a damn.
Or you couldn't.
Or you couldn't.
But you could get vulgar with so many different everything that's out there. What is your no. Damn is like Alex Jones getting sued for $965 million. Damn!
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. For running his mouth. Ain't that something?
I'm sorry, I don't like to be political, but damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a whole other word.
That's a whole other
you bring
one.
it to another level.
$965 million?
Yeah.
I feel like the dude from 900 gazillion billion dollar. Like $965 million. There's not enough. That's not enough money in the world right now. To me, it ain't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I don't even
a $20 scratch off ticket.
I don't even know what I would do if somebody was like, "Here's $1 million." I don't even know what I would do first, to be honest. I'd be like, I'd probably spend like $1,000 and be like, "Whoa, I'm spending too much here.
I was crazy.
This is going too far." So here's a good question that we like to ask musicians because I find that the answers are often unusual. So, what profession other than your own would you like to try?
Chef.
Yeah. Really? Well, so what, a particular kind of chef, or like, what would you like? What would you get into cooking?
I'm telling you, that's what I do when I ain't doing anything. I'm cooking.
Yeah.
I actually get hired to go do parties and stuff.
No kidding. Like,
He's an amazing
and he's good.
cook.
Oh Lord,
Lucky.
having a party at the
I'm a
LuBeck
lucky
household.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are.
I love Italian cuisine, but I can like do everything from rolling my own sushi to
That's an art.
yeah, and I love just presenting that stuff, you know. And I've had a lot of my musician friends come over, and I go, "Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up with this." Yeah, so I really love. That's what I like. Yeah,
Nice.
cooking.
Nice.
Yeah. I tell her to get the hell out of my way.
I'm not allowed in the
Sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta
Like, okay,
move.
I'll sit back and enjoy.
Yes. I set the table.
Yeah, there you go.
That works too.
Teamwork.
Oh wow!
Everybody has a job.
Wow, okay.
So, contrary to that, what job would you not do under any circumstance whatsoever?
Gotta take it all in.
A politician.
God, that
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what I said on mine.
yeah.
I would never be in politics. You've
Ever.
got me on the other side of the horse. I don't
There's
even-
there's no equal half of the barbed wire fence that you can reach.
Yeah, no, it's
There's no halfway between anything.
nope.
You're gonna get cut or not, you know.
Mhm.
I think you get cut either way, no matter how you try to climb a barbed wire fence. You know, on one side or another, or over the top or underneath it. You get
Unless you're my
scratched up.
brother looking at mushrooms growing on the other side of the fence. Hold on, let me tell you. All right, so I'm playing golf. He goes, "You're playing golf?" I go, "Yeah, I want you to drive my golf cart around for me." He goes, "Oh yeah, that's cool. You know, cool to see you and everything." So I'm out there, I'm golfing, I'm doing some golf, and we come around the corner. He goes, "Mushrooms!" And he actually one arms it over this barbed wire fence into a cow pasture. Boom! He comes around back. He's got his shirt like this, old month mushrooms, and yeah. So that's as far as my politics take me. Because that's the difference between of like I'm playing golf and he's gonna get mushrooms.
I feel like that's a day well lived. I think all good things culminate from a good golf game and then dropping shrooms
and eating mushrooms. Yeah.
If you put that all together,
Awesome.
that sounds like the craziest round of golf that could possibly ever exist.
Extreme putt.
But I had to make excuses because I was at a place where all these people had these fenced in screens, and he one arms it over this fence, and he goes, "Mushrooms." And I'm like, "Oh, that's great. Thank you for finding my ball.
Yeah.
Please grab as many over there as you can." He's coming across the field, and I'm like, "Whoa, I'll never have to buy another golf ball ever."
Ever. All right, man. Finally, last question in this interview. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You're pretty cool, dude.
You're pretty cool, dude. I agree. Awesome. I love
How did this turn up here?
it. We make
Yikes.
dreams come true here on the JNC podcast.
Oh.
hold
I
it up.
doing
Hold it up
this?
for the class. No, we still got some fun to have. Unless you feel like you need to play a song right now.
No,
If it's in your heart.
no.
in your heart.
There's some kind of writing thing over here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
the thing.
yeah, we're doing it.
Oh.
You guys, get your thinking caps on because it's time for another riveting round of Name That Tune.
Oh man, what am I doing?
One for each of you.
You guys are
Board
gonna,
and then remarks on
yeah, So you're going to be, well, I guess I could explain it to everybody, the class at home as well. We invite all of our live viewers to play along with us in the chats and comments. We're looking for the name of the song and the artist or band that's performing it. Tonight's category is iconic guitar solos. How did I know? How did I guess?
Yeah, okay.
Gosh,
All right, here we
man.
go.
I told you the universe works well for me most times.
Hey,
So
just remember, man, I was told when you told me this, there would be no math. All right.
okay.
So,
No math, promise.
Not today.
First question
Maybe.
is 2 plus 2. No, I'm just kidding. So there's bonus points tonight if you can also name the guitarist in the group that's actually performing the solo.
Oh, come on. He's going to crush this.
I'm just saying.
yeah, you've been
bonus
talking
points.
about guitar players all night.
Bonus points.
Heavens.
All right. Is everybody ready to play? I think so. We're ready for a game. All right, you guys. First clue tonight. Here we go. Whoop. What the hell was that?
Nothing.
empty water bottles,
Oh,
man.
water
I'm
bottles.
just sorry, they're empty water bottles, man. I'm just like
Going
really
everywhere.
busting the rules
Listen,
here. and
I have
everything.
no idea what goes on in this room sometimes. I just hear crazy stuff. So
All right.
It's not rain.
it's not rain this time. It was drizzling. I did hear some rain up there. It's a tin roof. So, all right, first clue. Here we go. I know it's only 5-second clues. So,
What is it?
Here
what
it
am
is.
I doing?
so you're gonna write the name of the song and the artist and the guitarist if you know it. 3 things we're
Any
looking for.
info on the song?
Here it is one more time.
I got it.
So just hang tight on your answers there until somebody starts
She
answering it in
looked
the
over
chats.
at me. What does she think? She's Chevy Chase and you ever see that movie? Spies Like Us?
Yep.
Excuse me, I'm a cardiovascular specialist.
Darn. I don't even know reading it. I don't even know what that. I cheated too.
Oh my God, Jordan! Everybody's a damn cheater here and name that tune.
Oh, what a
All
terrible
right, I'm
clue.
good, man. I'm good.
It's a
All
great clue if you know
All right.
if you know the song.
If you know what you're listening to.
All right. Is everybody ready? Everybody have guesses down? Answers?
I'm
Anybody?
good.
Oh, I have nothing.
Sue's
Yeah.
got nothing. What about you, Jordy?
I
Anything?
put a big question mark.
Oh, that's not right. What do you got, Mike?
I've got a free 7-day vacation on Viking. That's right. Viking headline, my own personal cabin. Anyway,
Perfect.
so I've got Randy Rhoads. Of course, it was Crazy Train.
That is Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne. It is Randy Rhoads on guitar.
Oh, well, now you play the part that everyone knows.
Yeah. Iconic guitar solos is tonight's tonight's category.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
John McCauley said Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads. I would expect you to know that, John.
Wow.
That's right.
Okay.
Johnny's my man. He's my boy. All right. So
All right. If the class was paying attention earlier in the show, you might get this next clue. Here we go. Here's that clue one more time for the lost look I'm getting from Jordan. That's a tough one.
no, it's not.
Not for us.
What a
Well, Jordan's
jerk.
actually writing
What a
something, so
jerk.
that's
Okay.
good.
No. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
All right. Everybody have anything written down? Anything at all?
I put Guns N' Roses.
That's absolutely wrong. nothing for Sue as
Sue and I are killing the game.
well. All right, Mike, let's have it. What is it?
It's the second solo
Oh.
of Comfortably Numb.
That is correct. And who
There's two
played,
solos. It's the second one.
It's the second one. Who played that beautiful guitar solo?
David Gilmour.
Absolutely correct.
I know what I'm going to do when I get back up here and play, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
song.
I'm inspired, bro.
Look at you.
Dave's badass. That's all there is to it. Okay, so what are we doing?
Awesome. Yeah. No, hands down. One of the just greatest entertainers, guitarists of our time.
Now, does the next song contain math?
This one might. So be prepared for trig.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Trigonometry.
Dude. No, I was told there would be no math when you called me.
Here's the next clue.
When I booked this.
Iconic guitar solos.
Yeah,
Sue
I know
knows
this
it.
one.
Here it is one more time. Maybe jog your memory.
Yeah.
By the way, this guy, what an insane guitar player and songwriter. His band.
He's
is
too
on another
good.
plane.
There's those guys where you listen to and you go like, "Hey, dude, stop it."
What I like about him is when he starts playing, you're like, oh, I could do that. It's a very
No,
relatable
you
guitar
can't.
solo. But then he gets into stuff like you just heard, and it's like, well, like what's the word I'm looking for? Escalated quickly.
No, you can't.
Exactly.
No, you can't.
Negative.
You're like, well, no,
Right.
I've given up. I'll never play guitar again. That's what he does. And he
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to absolve myself from this question.
he's absolving himself.
Okay, so this is going to be between you and her.
Oh no.
All right. This is
Yeah,
this.
I
this
know,
I
same.
mean, between me and you, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know. I put the game together, so
You cheated.
And if I was ever to watch an MTV video where I was going to watch somebody who put out some of the best videos and DVDs
There
and
might
all
be a
that stuff
clue.
at the time, he would have to be this guy right here because, we all have our swaying.
yeah,
Yeah. We're all, mellow in our own.
Can you
I'm a sultan. I'm a king.
Can you give us a clue?
Well, I mean, I don't think it could get any more obvious than that. Thanks, Mike.
Oh, BB King?
Jordan,
Oh. I said King. I don't know.
you're adorable.
Hey, baby, call me a czar. All right. I'm a czar.
All right.
Is that-
What do you have, ladies?
I only got the Sultan part.
All right, that's good enough for me. For the love of God, what did you, Jordan? A blank page, good enough.
Space.
All right, Mike, tell us who it is.
It's my boy, Sultan's the Swain, man. You can't get any better than one of the biggest masters of a finger-picking technique than
Mark Knopfler. That's right. The Dire Straits is the name of that group.
Mark invented
Oh.
what he does.
It's unbelievable.
That guy invented something that everybody else knows.
Great song. Great tune.
Absolutely.
I would have never got that though. Yeah.
I didn't either.
I know the group, or the name, but I still would never have.
So is
put
this a
that
magic
together.
eraser right here? Because if you're going to give me numbers here, I want to make sure that I'm prepared for it because I was told there would be no math.
Yes, that eraser actually does calculations for you.
Pretty
So
badass.
it's
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So I can
Adds it
tell.
all up.
So every time I bring one of these out, I can sell my T-shirts cheaper than they were the week before that, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Is that what I can do?
that's how
See,
it works.
what I want to do is I want to start bringing them out to my show so people could write requests on them instead of handing me papers that blow away or ripping my earbuds out to yell it into my ear.
Mm.
That would be nice for them not to do that.
I have earbuds too, but they're not like monitor earbuds. They're they're from the doctor's office,
The
and
earplugs.
and
yeah.
when they do that, I look at them and I go, eh? And it's
I only had one woman ever do
I
it.
can't hear anything. I'm trying to play music, and then all of a sudden, I'm like the guy at Walmart who can't find the cottage cheese. I'm like, "Guys, cottage cheese." I'm like, that's me. I'm like,
Oh
my
man,
god, that's
Wa-
him.
wild. All right, here's
Best.
one that everyone should get.
I don't
Next
know
clue.
about that.
We got 2 more clues here. Here we go. Please, Jordan, focus.
I have to write again.
Sam, gotta put an easy one. Come on, Sue, you got this one.
What's the answer? I mean, what are we looking for?
You're looking for the name of the song, the band, that performance, and if you know the guitarist or guitarists that performed the solo. Here it is one more time.
I'm not going to write this down. Watch this. Here we go.
I
I'm gonna wait for the girls.
Jaybird got it there. And John's been killing it. John McCauley.
I know. I love that guy,
He's
man.
been killing it over here in the chats.
We have so much fun when we play together. It should be illegal in Fort Lauderdale. I'm saying,
It might be. Just haven't gotten caught yet. All right, ladies. What do we have here? It is the Eagles Hotel California. Jordan got it too.
Yeah,
Look at you.
I
Look at you.
it was a combo. That's a technical kind of thing.
Yeah, that's extra credit.
Now, Mike, do you happen to know the guitarists that were featured on that little guitar solo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. F.
You're on it. You're in the vein.
So we're looking at Joe
Mm-hmm.
and Faley.
You're there. I'm gonna give it to you because it's
because he started it off.
Don Felder. Yeah.
Felder.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Good.
Don is like
tune.
a much smoother player with a more richer tune.
I'm
or
sorry,
tone of guitar.
I have to admit that a lot of the stuff that he did, he was like so instrumental in the band and the way that their progressions were released.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
100%.
you listen, yeah. I mean,
Joe Walsh is the entertainer, man. Like
that's what they hired him for.
Yeah, I
okay,
love
but
Joe.
if you look at what Don Henley and Glenn Fry was, okay, they were the songwriters of that band. Those are the guys that put a lot of those epic songs together, but they couldn't do it without calling in the big boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my feeling,
Johnny McCauley actually said that Don Felder wrote that song. He wrote Hotel California. Very cool.
Okay, yeah.
Very cool. Look at us. We're getting some trivia in here, too.
That's
as
right.
well.
I love that shit. Yeah.
I got
all day. I
one
call
more.
up my people in the crowd all the time. I go, all right, I'm going to do something. This is a song. Anybody remember the Golden Girls? And then I'll do a song by the guy who wrote the song from the Golden Girls.
I love that.
But it wasn't his big song.
Right? No. It wasn't even his version that made it to pop culture.
That's clever.
Yeah. It was
I think
like one of the big.
We even did that. Didn't
I'm going
we?
to do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that one. I'll do that
good.
when I go back. Let's do that one.
I like that.
Might have a
Lonely
little
Boy.
medley
Lonely Boy.
boiling.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know that one.
All right, here's one more clue.
Oh, that's fun.
And this is another pretty easy one. Here we go.
I'm not cheating. She was handing me money. Hey man, she was handing me money over here.
Hey man, we all got to make a buck somehow. Here's that clue one more time. And of course, spelling doesn't count. So just
So what are
sound it
they
out.
looking for right now?
looking for the song name, the band, and possibly the name of the guitarist. If you might know that, might have seen a major feature film recently that gave you all of this information. Jaybird's in there with it. John McCauley, of course, murdering the game, and with it as well. Everybody
She's
ready?
cheating over here. I just want to let you know right there. No, she's like on the table. Hey. Anybody seen Spies Like
I
Us?
just need time to digest.
It's all good because
Spies Like Us.
it's honor among thieves in this place. So
I'm a cardiovascular respondent. This man is suffering a heart attack, and he's looking at his cheat notes, and he's like, "Come on,
what do you guys got?
come on, what you got?"
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, Bohemian
And the same,
Rhapsody by
For a little
Queen.
crown.
And
Is this the real life? Is this just
anybody know the name of the guitarist? Johnny McCauley got it, of course. And so did Jaybird. Anybody know the guitarist of that band?
Well, they're talking about you two. All right, like, does anybody know? Because there's stuff coming on. Okay, but I was told there would be no math. That's why I feel safe. All right. So
Nobody? He's an astrophysicist. He went to school for astrophysicism, I suppose.
He's probably got the curly mullet hair.
You're there.
I think they all
You're
did.
there.
But-
You're there. Nobody?
can I give hints?
Yeah, please.
Road Warrior.
I don't know if that's going to do it.
We're hopeless.
I'm going to say perhaps maybe the month before June.
May.
Oh, you're so close. Yes. And what's that first name? Not Brain.
Yeah, as in like when, Marty Feldman says like Abby normal.
Yeah.
You mean you put an abnormal brain
Yes, not Brain, but
in an 8-foot monster?
this is getting this
Oh,
is
this is painful.
all right. I clearly have some editing to do tomorrow. Of course, the guitarist is Brian May.
Brian May.
That was a stretch.
Yeah.
Girl, you don't even know.
You could have said crying.
Oh,
Rhymes
man.
with crying.
Well, you guys did a bang-up job there, at least towards the end. And all of you out there standing in the game, we appreciate you.
10%er.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to get Mike to go back up and jam out another song or two. We can go on all night.
Whoa.
It's totally up to you. So we're going to let him go up and get sorted out back there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live with us. Give it up once again for the amazing Mike LuBeck.
Hush now, don't you cry. Wipe away the teardrops from your eye. You're lying sick in bed. It was all a bad dream spin your head. Mind tricked you to feel the pain of someone close to you leaving the game of life. So here it is, another chance. Why you make you face the day when day is over? Or has it just begun? There's a place I like to hide, a doorway that I run through at night. Well, like child you were there, but only didn't realize and you were scared. Twice you watch your learn. You breathe the pain in the dream to make your soul set through the pride. Round your journey in your head, master of the loser cat. You realize your dreams in life. You can be the guy, but I'll be watching over you, and I'll be there to pull you through, and I'll protect you in the night, 'cause I'm smiling next to you. Silent Lucidity. If you open your mind to me, you never rely on open eyes to see. The wall you build within, the contaminate down in the world will begin. Living twice and once you'll learn. Get free from pain and the dream remains so set in the blind. Write your journey in your head. Master of illusion, carry life. You dream the life, you can be the guy, but I'll be watching over you. And I'll be there to pull you through. And I'll protect you in the night. 'Cause I'm lying next to you in silent lucidity. If you open your mind to me, you won't rely on open eyes to see. The wall you build within, the contaminate down in the new world will begin. Living twice in one shoulder, feel free from pain. The dream to make you so set in the blind. Route your journey in your head. Master of illusion, can you realize you change your life? You can meet a guy. I'll be watching over you. I'll be there to pull you through. I'll protect you in the night. 'Cause I'm smiling next to you.
Awesome. Awesome, dude. Great job, Mike. After all that build up, after all that talk, you played the song anyway.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do it.
Did it.
I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do these other songs.
He did it.
Not gonna do it. And he did it anyway. And he made Sue cry.
Yep,
She
cried.
was over there tearing up the whole time.
It's such a beautiful song.
It really is.
But what I love about it is it's a song about hope. You know,
I'm gonna plug this into this damn.
100%.
What is this right here? Bones. Hey,
Bones.
there we go.
Bones. It really is. You know, it's a song of hope. It's a beautiful orchestration. I personally don't know any other song by Queensryche at all. It's the only one I know from them. I'm sure they have other amazing tunes.
Yeah,
But
yeah. They do. But I mean, you got to be in like the genre of Jet City Woman. How about
Yeah.
Empire? You know, I mean, I think it was what album was it? Operation Mindcrime. Oh, so they came out. Operation Mindcrime Mindcrime came out in the 80s. And so it was a big success because it was we didn't hear from a lot of the metal bands back in that day. It was like a theme metal album, and it was, the story was great. It was like about a guy who was against the government. He tried to fight him and there was an evil nurse who tried to drug him into. I mean, it's a cartoon. It's a music experience, cartoons, animation, all this stuff was dealt in as like Queensryche.
Man, it's one of my favorite things about progressive music in general is
Roger Waters.
Exactly.
Yes.
Pink Floyd, huge into that thing. Roger Waters primarily responsible for all that. I know, it's so sad.
I'm gonna keep my shit.
Rush, same deal. 2112 was an incredibly cool concept album, and then all of their records really kind of followed a storyline like that. And then you have even modern people like the Gorillaz that have their characters.
I love those guys.
They're
man.
so great.
They are so cool. I mean, if I'm driving down the road and I'm on the way to a gig, Gorillaz is that's my choice.
It's so cool. So it's like it's not just the thing for the '80s. They're doing it today too.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I'm coming on Horse and Lucy. I'm on my way to Martin Avenue. Oh, here's Hope Sound.
He's running the highway. He's going down every exit.
Cruising.
I love that. So this part of the show is just we call it our Shameless Plugs segment, and that's where we're just going to go around the room.
Is there math?
No math, thankfully, as I don't like math either. But we're going to go around the room.
Oh, yeah, no.
So in this segment, you're going to just tell us what shows you got coming up, where we can find your music, anything that you want to, any of your friends that you want to plug, anything shameless, as shameless as you'd like to be.
That's what I'm talking about. Shameless self-promotion. That's what this business is all about right there. Yeah.
That's it. Yep. That's it. This is our Shameless Plugs. We like to blow stuff up. We blow stuff up. We break stuff. That's what we do here. No, for real.
Zodiac signs.
High voltage.
Zodiac sign.
All right, we'll kick it off. All right, Mike, hit us with your shameless plug. Where can we find you playing around town? Where can we find your music? What's good in the hood?
Okay, so I just started my 6th season. I'm sorry to say it. I have to say this, but I just started my 6th season at Orchid Island Golf and Country Club in Vero Beach.
Love that spot.
Okay, but that's a members only place.
No, I'm just kidding. Everybody should go be a member.
Well, good thing we're members, Brad.
If you're Brazilian, if you're everything west from the Caicos,
Elite.
That's right. I just started but I'm going to be all over the area. So, what was your question again?
Where can we find you playing?
Okay. I'm going to be at Gloria Esteban's this weekend. 2 shows.
Costa d'Este, right? Yeah.
Costa d'Este.
I love that place. It really is a great spot.
I'm a toker. Oh, well, I didn't just say that, did I? Oh my God!
All your secrets are
That was
lost.
a shameless plug.
Holy crap! I've been up there playing, and go. I look at her and I go, "What?" It's a beautiful place, man. What a beautiful spa holiday place. The drinks are beautiful. The people are great.
I actually. Not to
Can
pickle back off your story, but I played there one Saturday afternoon, and they had a conference there. It was a plastic surgeons conference. So you want to talk about all the beautiful people? I've never seen more plastic in my life in one central location that I did there. It was astonishing.
Hey, wasn't somebody did a song about the beautiful people.
He was pretty plastic too.
No.
That's Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Ah. Oh, you guys are
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the same page.
But I'm just that whole thing is so much fun there.
a
I'm
great
like
spot.
I got my back to the ocean. I do not care, and I'm sitting there going, "Ooh, look at her! I go, hey, baby, go track those people down." Anyway, so no, I'm just it's a great place. What a beautiful venue. I mean, the pool, the hot water tubs, the hotel, the beachfront. It's just
it's not a
And
bad
the food,
office.
The food's really nice.
it's not a
Not a
bad
bad
office.
office.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying,
Yeah.
I've experienced a lot worse.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. I wish I could mention a place in Hammond, but I won't do that because I love those people. Hammond, Indiana. Did I just say that? Come back with Hammond, Indiana. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we
That's
have
okay.
we have a bunch of
Hey,
people
they're
from Indiana.
right beside a railroad track. Did I just say that? They were this beside a railroad track. Okay, so here you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you're gonna be there this Saturday then, yeah?
I'm there 2 days this weekend.
Nice.
Friday and Sunday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sunday?
I
Saturday.
love that, dude. That's
Awesome.
really good. It's really good, and that means that if I get booked Friday, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm a Dolphins fan, so I would rather this. It's football season, so Sunday is kind of like a day to where you want me to I'm gonna pay. You're gonna charge me to play at your place.
You're right.
Okay, I'm just saying. I don't care if the Dolphins are playing or not. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
That's right.
Where can we find your music? I know you said that Cold is available on YouTube exclusively at this rate. Do you have physical copies that you sell at your gigs or anything like that?
I do. I have a bunch of merchandise, man. I got frisbees.
No way.
I got frisbees. I've been doing that for years. You pass out frisbees at gigs and stuff. You throw frisbees out with your album cover. And I've got the last album. I got the new album. That's you can't put that in your pocket, bro.
No.
All right, it's like you're gonna advertise yourself. Try to stick a frisbee in your back pocket.
Not doing that.
Yeah. So, but the next as far as like the promotions that I've got that are available, you can go to the Facebook page. You can get all the albums, everything I've ever done for free.
Awesome.
I don't care.
That's so great. Well, it's a in the world of like streaming music, Spotify, all that stuff too. It's
Just don't steal my stuff.
yeah. You can have all my records for free. Please don't
Yeah.
steal my things from my gig.
Fair.
So if I do the boys are back in town, the boys, and I wrote that, and then I and then you come out where you want to just say the girls are back in town, the girls. I mean, hey, there's a copyright infringement in there.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing these days.
Yeah.
People
Sue happy. They're suing happy.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. I thought I remember a post from you, and we didn't get into that tonight. I didn't know how far you wanted to dive into that, but has there been any clarification or
I've got to put some tracks together that coincide with both the verses and the choruses within the same tempo and the same thing that goes over top of everything.
Right. I'm interested. Keep me posted on that because we've had actually a couple of.
I don't think
We've had a couple episodes on these kinds of
who
things.
Would I would be an arrogant asshole to think that a band stole anything from me.
But if you feel it in like, it doesn't make you
I was
arrogant.
just like,
if you listen to it and you're like, oh my God.
I was surprised. I was sitting down and I was like, dude, that's pretty blatant. It's pretty blatant. And my sons, the thing of it is like my sons have followed me for decades. My youngest son started working with me when he was 13 years old. I took him on tour with me with Doc and Jackal and Skid Row. When kids were out going to play,
kickball or whatever.
Kick the can, my boy was with me. And he goes, Dad, come on, dude. This is something that I don't think that I'm so privileged that I'm that good to do it. But if I can get paid and Campbell's Soup owes me money for mushroom soup, doing it.
You should. You should. Absolutely, man. If you believe in your heart of hearts, like, you gotta take
Did
it
I
all the
just
way.
say that?
You gotta take it all the way. You need to get paid for
I'm
mushroom.
so salty, man.
You need to get paid for
I'm
mushroom
so salty.
soup.
Yeah.
There's
That's
nothing
right.
saltier than mushroom soup. Let's be honest about
Campbell's, man. Hey, get it right, man.
it. Awesome, man. Well, that's great. If I want a frisbee when I go to the show.
Yeah.
You're gonna get all that when I leave in your parking lot right now.
No.
I'm gonna give you everything
Well, now
I can right
Well,
now.
now I'm not going to any shows. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Oh, dang.
Whoa.
See how that escalated?
Wow. I went and saw him.
You did.
Dang.
You
I
did.
I went and saw him, and it was like I bowed down, and you told him he was like Marla Maples
Oh,
and everything.
jeez, get
And I was
out
like,
of here.
I was like,
Get out of here.
That's awesome, man. Anything else you want to plug? Anyone? Anything? Anyone? Anything else?
well, so
you
I
got?
guess a bunch of shows coming up. Of course, you promote Hop Life.
Yeah.
I love those people out there, man. We're just a great. Me being as a veteran and all that stuff, Hop Life is just super awesome.
Yeah. Great
I'm
group.
gonna be all over the area, and thank you, man, for having me out.
Oh my
I
God,
appreciate it,
my
bro.
pleasure. Thank you for being here.
No. All right, multiple cameras. Here we go, right here. All right, the first one to fall out of their chair wins on you.
Oh, Brad will be first.
Oh God, I've fallen out of this chair many, many times. It's broken. I've fallen out of it. It's
glued together.
She's electrocuted me out of it. There's really not a lot that doesn't go on in here.
Wow.
It's quite bizarre. Any shameless plugs, Jordy?
No.
No, not today. Any
Today.
shameless plugs, Sue? No.
Yeah, we're shameless.
Yes, there is a shameless plug from Sue. She's like, why can't I own minutes at Disney? Why can't I ever claim them? There you go. I've been dealing for 2 weeks. She's like, hey, I'd like to subscribe to this place. It's called Disney Everston. I was like,
Because that doesn't coincide with the hanging you upside down and shaking all the money out of your pockets.
But they tried.
I just go to the front gate and I hand them my wallet and I go, here, just give me whatever you think I should have back.
Yeah.
You know,
What should I get for
They give you the
this?
wallet back.
what do I give them? Then they go, hey, dude, that's a Perry Ellis. You suck. You know.
Oh my God! All right, I'll hit you with my shameless plugs. First and foremost, obviously, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. Please remember, talking it's hard, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please invite your friends to watch the show too if it's something you think they'll enjoy. Shout out to our sponsors and partners at Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, who you just talked about, the Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart, and Paul Robertson from the Drums and Rums podcast. Please support those who support us and support local whenever you can. Check out our weekday morning radio live stream, Jams and Coffee. I know that Mike does from time to time, and Jordan listens on our way in every morning to work. So,
Oh, they heard you this morning.
yeah.
They really liked that one article.
Oh, yes, the one article where I could not pronounce anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was
That's
all
the one.
It was math.
Yeah, it was all like Polynesian names.
It was all math. That's what it was.
Mathematical equation.
That happens too, and I don't know what I'm doing that when I read
numbers
those.
is hard too sometimes.
Check that out every weekday morning at 8 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and JNC Radio via the Live 365 radio app. And you can get that app for free from your favorite app store. Nothing to sign up for. You just download it, open it, search for JNC Radio, and listen to the morning show, this podcast, and great music 24/7. Tomorrow night, I'll be at the Square Grouper in Fort Pierce, joined by the amazing Tony Solomon on keys. That show kicks off at 8 p.m. You can see my whole show schedule at bradbrock.com. And our biggest plug coming up in 2 weeks from now on October 26th. It's our third annual JNC Halloween Spooktacular. And that's featuring Bloody Marys. We love Bloody Marys. So mark that on your calendar and join us for our live stream Halloween party in just 2 weeks, October 26th. Is there glass everywhere?
Only a few pieces.
That's my shameless plug.
Oh, wait, we have one more. Breaking news from John McCulley.
Breaking news. Macaulay,
Right?
yeah.
Macaulay. He said,
Oh my
don't forget
God.
to catch the
Oh.
new show, Leave It To LuBeck, coming soon to Netflix. And I think that needs to happen. I'm here for that.
It would be a good one. It would be a good one.
So if you want to tell us about that, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Well, listen, guys. I
He's
hope
funny.
all of you out there enjoyed the show. Did you guys have fun, Mike and
Great
Sue?
No
time.
fun at
Yeah.
all.
So much for having
so
us.
much. Hey, did you just like do this to me? I was like picking up empty beer cans over here when you
Switch
how you
over
doing?
to
I was
yeah.
like this the whole show.
yeah.
No, thank you so much, man.
Oh my God.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you. Thank you.
course.
It-
Joey,
you guys are a riot. This has been a lot of fun and a long time coming, really.
Yeah.
So
Really is. Again, every time I see you, I'm like, dude, that guy gets he's so precise. I was like, if I had to work like that, I was like,
listen, I've said it often and I'll say it again.
It's
It's the only cardio that I get. So keeps me in shape as long as round remains a shape.
Ah.
You're awesome, bro. Thank you, man.
You're
Thanks
awesome.
so
Thank you
much
for
having
being
me,
here.
man.
Give it up. Give it up once again for Jordan, Sue, and our special guest, Mike LuBeck.
Boy, that dude's just the biggest. I knew him when he was an asshole when he was up here. You know what I'm saying? They're not surprised.
You gotta love Johnny. Listen, you guys, join us next week for another
Still.
episode of the JNC podcast. Until then, take care of yourselves and be kind to one another. You guys broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge. I'm Brad Brock. We love you. Good night.
I'm amazed. I put this song in the life history. Oh, don't you know?